This is Manchester Soul Radio, playing the sounds from the Manchester Soul Clubs of the 1960s.
This one is our old friend from Texas, Mr. Johnny Copeland and Suffering City.
You know you done a poor boy wrong, and I guess I'm going back to my home. This the pavement's kinda hot on my feet. You know this is the wrong place to be. Can you find it in your heart to show a little pity and help me get away from this suffering city? I'm tired of being stepped on, pushed on and scorned. My heart is broken and my pride is torn. Just look into these bloodshot eyes. Can you count all the tears that I cried? I asked you just as long as I could. I've taken even more than I should. Can you find it in your heart to show a little pity and help me get away from this suffering city? I'm tired of being stepped on, pushed on and scorned. My heart is broken and my pride is torn. The city's just a moving too fast, and I guess I'm really out of my class. I'm leaving on a Greyhound bus, going back to peoples I can't trust. Can you find it in your heart to show a little pity and help me get away from this suffering city? I'm tired of being stepped on, pushed on and scorned. My heart is broken and my pride is torn. Oh, yeah. Can you find it in your heart to show a little pity and help me get away from this suffering city? I'm tired of being stepped on, pushed on and scorned. My heart is broken, my pride is torn. Let me, baby, show me. Please show a little pity, mama. Please, get your help me right now. I wanna help.
Yeah, lovely. Hard record.
Oh, how hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I was dancing to that when I was 12 years old, skipped in youth club, Friday night disco kind of thing. I think the disco was mad. I think it was Mad Martin's Madhouse and then KD, which we talked about before. Mad Martin's
Yeah.
Madhouse was from Harrogate, and the KD was Derek Wright.
Okay.
And his operation, which was out of Colne, kind of thing. But I think I say Mad Martin's Madhouse, it could have been Derek Wright's. But I mean,
Yeah.
just a gritty
Yeah.
piece. You know, you forget. I mean, I'm not listening to that for maybe 40 years or something.
Yeah.
That record, and it just sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of stuff that we love here on the Guy and Tony Rare SOULcial. You know, that's right up our strata.
It is absolutely. I mean, it's we all forget how good certain records are, and
Yeah.
you bypass them in favour of this, in favour of that,
Yeah.
and it's only for I mean, I've got but not a pretty West Coast, black and white West Coast Atlantic demo like you've got. I've got a red and black one somewhere. But I mean, and we talked about Billy and Lily, the other version as well.
Yeah, that's not quite. Is that the one? There's a version that isn't that people buy by mistake, which is a different take. Or is that the one on Jetstream? I think it's one on Jetstream, isn't it?
Yes, it's one on Jetstream, which is different. Yeah,
Yeah.
a different version.
Yeah.
I forget what Billy and Lily is. Is it Billy and Lily?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could be wrong on this, or I could be wrong.
I'm
but I
pretty
think
sure it is.
I think
yeah.
it's Billy and Lily,
Yeah.
affiliated outfit.
Yeah.
The pairing. Who did a great version, but just when you just put it on, it takes you right back, you know, to your first pair of astronaut boots, kind of thing. You know?
I mean, I think records like that put me in mind of things like Zigzag Lightning and those kind of sounds that were around quite early on in the scene, you know.
Yeah, in what became the Northern Soul scene for sure. And anybody older than me, you know, kind of thing. And I'm 52.
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, yeah. Anyway, any of the old lads, the Wheel lads, and around that period, were probably correcting everything we say in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but it's the 4 beats to the bar.
Yeah, but not in the way to say. But the one thing they won't correct us on, that is a fantastic record. That
Absolutely.
was Johnny Copeland.
Absolutely.
It goes back to the Johnny Copeland, and in the same period, it's another one for lads who are trying to dance around in astronaut boots, you know, or for the older lads kind of thing who are dancing to at the wheel. This is Percy Sledge. Well, for me personally, going back to the days when style was just about as important as what music you had, or what records you had, or what we were about at the weekend, you had to look right.
Yeah.
And whether or not you managed to have the money together to have a pair of loafers or bros. But at the time, I think in 1969, my most, as I mentioned, I think twice already, a pair of astronaut boots were my main footwear. So, which went along with Percy there.
Yeah,
great record.
And again, an artist who's not very well known for his up-tempo dancing records. Obviously saddled with a monster hit in When a Man Loves a Woman. So most of the records he was given to do were of a similar ilk. So a lot of his, most of the up-tempo records were either on album tracks or, but they didn't sell.
We all grew up. Everybody grew up one way, shape or form with When a Man Loves a Woman, which was Percy's massive hit. Now I do remember. I remember this with great affection, actually, because when he had, correct me what year it was, when Chanel used When a Man Loves a Woman for their Christmas perfume campaign.
Right.
I'm sure it was then. And Chanel used as their, soundtrack, Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. And then on the back of that, I think it went to #1 UK.
Okay,
and they brought him back over to do London Palladium or the Royal Variety Performance.
Okay,
actually. Royal Variety Performance, and I forget which member of the Royal Family was there watching it. But when it was on live, I watched it, and they shot Percy Sledge when he was doing when he was singing, and bear in mind he was a postman then by that time. He was no longer a professional singer. Whether he did jobbing singing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this would be mid-80s, would it? Or
Yeah,
mid-late 80s?
when a lot of these marketing companies started using,
absolutely.
like Levi's did
Levi's did it. But they shot Percy Sledge from the back, and he's at the Royal Variety Performance in London. One step, away from, the couple of weeks before delivering Christmas cards in America, and all of a sudden he's there, and they shot it from the side, and there's one bit, and there's a tear coming out of his eye. I mean, and this geezer's giving it his all on this massive, world stage for something he's been known from, and then forgotten, even though he gets played in every radio station in the world daily, and hopefully picks up a royalty for that. But it was absolutely tremendous. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed watching that, and I still, when I think about it, I think, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Anyway, from the same period, this is a vocal version. Go on.
Horse is all right. Horse, ooh, it's all right. Horse, oh yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Started down in Tampa, then the horse got on his way. Spread across the country until it hit LA. Now everybody's doing it. This dance will make you flip. Even James Brown's whipping it with his licking stick. I say the horse, oh yeah, it's alright. Yeah. Whip it to the left. Whip it to the right. And if you tighten it up, this dance is out of sight. It gets all in your body. It makes you wanna dance. Hey, everybody, this dance will make you dance. I say the horse, yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. Down in Mobile, alright. Cincinnati, it's alright. Philadelphia, Detroit, all over the world. Sock it to me now.
Yeah, well, that's a pristine, mint condition, white promo copy of the James Boys, The Horse, from the man who did the vocal to The Horse, as in Love Is All Right, as well. And it jumped a bit at
I
the
think
end.
there might have been a little bit of paper or something on there.
Right, accumulated. But I think that's the first time I've played it that far in. And it's stone minter. And it's a white... It's a white promo, as I mentioned.
Very nice looking.
It is. It is pretty, isn't it?
The Phil LA of Soul, is it Filet of Soul or Phil LA? It's a really awkward. Some of these record labels that have an unusual name. It's like, how do you actually pronounce it? Filet, is it obviously Filet of Soul? But
Filet of Soul.
Yeah.
I think it's a take on fillet.
But it's the LA has got a dot there, so it's the Phil LA. And
these days when I tend to drink more than I used to, I used to know the answer to that. So.
Yeah. When other stimulants are available, of course. You see. Which takes us back to that whole thing we were talking about, God's Cop. He had his thing about the scene was, you know,
Yeah, we're talking about the police chief, assistant chief constable.
He thought he was one. Yeah, he thought he was one step down from God and believed.
Well, he talks about God talked to him in the shower every morning.
That's correct. Yeah,
I mean, that's a matter of record, by the way. So we're not,
Yeah, I remember him. Exactly, he was in the newspaper because I think he was a big favourite of Margaret Thatcher's as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the two together.
Yeah, but his feelings about the scene were rather tempered by his opinion that this was just a cover up to smuggle drugs around.
A conduit.
A conduit.
A conduit.
That is the word, and it's a very holy sounding word as well. This
exactly,
conduit,
just to smuggle drugs around the country.
Yeah, these people aren't enjoying themselves. They're not enjoying themselves at all. They're just fools. They're just
We're
fools.
Just masking what people are doing in the background.
You know,
what an absolute.
Yeah, exactly.
Bell end.
Yeah, but where is he now? Oh, he's dead, isn't he? Of course.
Well,
Yeah. God didn't save him.
No sympathy for the devil.
No. So our next record is from that late Wheel era, or probably a bit earlier actually. 66, I think this would have been played when it was.
Yeah, I was not a nipper.
No, but Brad would have been dancing to this.
Oh, Steve Bradley would have been 25.
Yeah. It's our old friend Mr. Willie T.
That I loved you time and time again. But you got me crying, baby, and my tears are flowing just like rain. Well, I'm all alone and blue as can be, and I'm walking up a one-way street. Honey, I'd quit you for good. If I could, I really would. And sometimes I think I should. Well, I'm all alone and blue as can be, and I'm walking up a one-way street. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It don't take much to please me, but every day here lately seems like all you do is tease me. Well, I'm all alone and blue as can be, and I'm walking up a one-way street. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One day, baby, I'd live to be your groom. It seems as though it's the other way round, and I'm walking to my doom. Well, I'm all alone in blue as can be, and I'm walking up a one-way street. Yeah. Keep on walking, keep on talking. Oh, baby, keep on walking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lovely little finger snapper there from Mr. Willie T out of New Orleans, and that's the local release on Nola Records, not the Atlantic one, which people are more familiar with.
Finger clicking good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've still got a favourite memory when he was on at Cleethorpes some years back, and really good singer still at the time, then, and really good performance. And Jet loved him. My wife Jet loved him. And anyway, we're sitting there.
Was Jet's sister on the backing singers?
I'm not sure. I can't remember whether he had any backing singers. If he did, she would have been there.
Okay, yeah.
But my main memory is of Willie T sat at the organ, and as we were looking at there, and Jet said, "I can't see him." I said, "Well, didn't you know he's a dwarf?" And she was like,
a little person.
a person of restricted height, but, you know. And but she swallowed that hook, line, and sinker, and proceeded to ask Adi, tell Adi that she didn't know that was the case. God bless her. I'd got my ear chewed off about that afterwards.
Yeah, good one, mate. Good one.
And then on to another artist that was pretty good at.
You're not saying he's with limited
guy
vertical restriction.
no. Actually, this guy, when the next guy was also on at Cleethorpes, and it was a bit of a swan song for him. This Hoagie Lands, which is I'm about to play, and he'd been discovered living. I think he was living in a mission or something like that. And they brought him over with Sydney Barnes to perform at Cleethorpes.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Yeah.
And Jet's sister Jane Tretton was doing the backing vocals with him, and they were rehearsing in London. And she phoned us up one night and said, "I really don't know how if this guy's going to be able to perform, because he hasn't sung for a long time, and he's a bit unsteady on his feet." And it was like quite a worry. He was in his 80s, I think, at that point.
Oh, bloody hell!
Yeah, right. I mean, because he was in his. I think it was in his 40s by the time he'd done.
Next in line, yeah, I know. Because
he'd been around.
He was a crooner before that.
Yeah. And he did the performance at the 100 Club before Cleethorpes, and at one point he went down on his knees, and everyone's thinking, is he going to get back up? Because he literally didn't look like he was going to get back up. At one point, the keyboardist went to go over, but he just managed to get back up again, and it was like, woof.
Really?
But it was a guy. It really was his swan song, and
nice.
To go out on a high, knowing that, this, he'd never been aware of this. He knew that he didn't know that the UK liked his records, but having that experience of having all these people singing back at him songs that he'd made, which he thought did nothing. It was just, and it was like a real moment,
Yeah, super, and that is what it's about at times.
Yeah, absolutely. The next in line.
The next in line. The next in line. The next in line.
Who's gonna be the next in line to be fooled and let fall behind? I wouldn't want it any other way, baby, because
The next in line.
just gotta be me now.
The next in
Yeah, I gotta have the chance to hold you. And after it's all over, baby, I know my friends are gonna say, man, I told you, but still, I wouldn't want it any other way, baby, because it's just gotta be me. Lord, it just gotta be me. Yeah, and they say that nothing you may be hazardous to my health. You would let one man leave him and try to deceive him, girl, who just loves to share the wealth. But I wouldn't want it any other way, baby, because
the next in line. I said the next in line.
yeah.
Yeah, Hoagie Land's there, and the next in line. Yeah, so it was a really great performance. I mean, he wasn't absolutely perfect singing, but you could tell he was getting a real kick out of what was happening there. And it was a moment. Yeah,
A bit of payback.
Yeah,
is what he's saying.
absolutely.
Payback for him. Not that he's owed anything from our end, but allows to show appreciation.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's the main thing. You know?
I mean, it's not. Sometimes it's beyond. It's not about the money. I think sometimes it is about, the recognition that you didn't get, but the recognition to the nth degree where these people actually know every word of the song.
Yeah, and they don't realise. To them, it's been and gone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I've come across this when travelling in America and being around when we tracked artists down.
Yeah.
And they are uber, really incredibly appreciative. And then when the ones come over, and obviously this just as well as I, and Aidy and Alex and Chris King and Neil Rushton and people who have actually brought artists over as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they are humble.
Yeah.
Most of them are absolutely humble. No matter how successful they are, when they realise, good grief, this has been going on for all these years. The other side of the pond, this underground scene, which isn't just something which likes the records, it's absolutely dyed in the wool.
Yeah.
Sort of appreciation and love for what they did. And, nice moment.
Yes, absolutely.